The first thing that you would consider in creating a product plan using Unicell is the Unicell rail. Since the rail is the only component that actually fastens to an architectural wall, all other Unicell products simply hangs from this horizontally mounted component. If you refer to our component guide, you will notice that the rail is available in different lengths. You would select the appropriate length of rail according to the size of architectural space you want to place the rail into. It is possible for the rail to be mounted onto a wood stud, steel stud, or masonry construction wall. Easy to follow installation instructions would accompany the shipment of rail for installers to refer to. It would be the responsibility of the installers to select and provide the fasteners to attach the rail to the architectural wall. A Unicell rail can easily be cut on site to address specific wall sizes or conditions. Once this rail is attached to the wall, Unicell cells, shelving, and work surfaces simply hang from it. This allows Unicell product to quickly and easily be reconfigured along the length of the rail at any point in time. Let's look at some more details surrounding the rail. When a length of rail is specified, the following parts and pieces would automatically be included as a pre-configured assembly. There would be the aluminum extruded rail itself that installers would attach to the wall. Secondly, there would be an ABS plastic cover which snaps over top of the extrusion, and then 2 end caps for the open ends of the rail. The colors available for the plastic cover and end caps are champagne, gray, and silent white. Depending on the scope of Unicell product needed, you may need to specify a rail that would be installed in the upper position, lower position, or maybe both. The upper and lower rail position is the exact same product and specified the same, just installed at 2 different heights, as shown in the diagram. The upper rail position is intended to house Unicell shallow cells, Unicell shelf units, and 27 module cells in both deep and shallow. And the lower rail would have Unicell work surfaces and deep cells hanging from it. We'll learn more about cells and shelf units later in the presentation. Let's now talk about instances where it is necessary for the end caps to be installed and when they are not. It's simple to assess whether or not the end caps are necessary to be installed. The factor is whether or not the ends of the Unicell rail would be visible. If the rail is attached to a wall that has an inside return condition, as shown here on the left, then the end caps would not need to be installed because the ends of the rail would not be visible. Conversely, as shown in the example on the right, the end caps would need to be installed because of the ends of the rail would be visible. Or you might have a scenario where only one end cap would need to be installed, in this case, the left end cap. From a product specification point of view, let's look closer at this particular example of an architectural wall that requires 16 feet total of a Unicell rail. Remember, the lengths of rail available span between 12 feet and 2 feet. So, since we know that the longest length of Unicell rail is 12 feet, for this condition we would need at least 2 Unicell rails. There are 2 ways which this could be specified. The first way is shown here. In the component guide, you will notice that the 12-foot length of rail is available both with end caps and also without. So we would specify the 12-foot rail without end caps plus a 4-foot rail which includes the end caps to equal a total of 16 feet of Unicell rail. The second way you could specify the Unicell rail for this same 16-foot wall is shown on the next slide. 2 equal lengths of 8-foot Unicell rail, including the end caps, could be specified. However, this would create extra end caps for this particular situation. The extra end caps would not need to be installed in this example because only the left end of this rail configuration would be visible. It is advised that any extra end caps are kept in the hospital's inventory. The reason for this is that in case a reconfiguration of Unicell product occurs, the extra end caps are available for use. And just as a note about the seam between two lengths of Unicell rail, the seam does not interfere with the placement of Unicell product onto the rail, meaning Unicell cells or shelving can overlap the seam between the two rails without compromising load capacity or hanging capability of other product. Remember, too, that the rail can easily be cut on site if you require a specific length. Let's move on to our next product group of Unicell, which is work surfaces. Click the next link to take you to that module.